The first mistake the Galactic Council made was assuming a single human ship was an invitation to mockery. The second mistake was assuming it would stay single. "Identify," growled Admiral Croth of the Vorix Dominion, his mandibles clacking as he studied the lone blip on the tactical holo. "It calls itself the ISS Gallant, sir," chirped his comms officer, suppressing a smirk. "One ship. Old hull configuration. Practically a museum relic." Crotha's mandibles curled into what passed for a smile. "A museum piece against a fleet of 300? This will be brief." And that's where they made their third mistake. On board the Gallant, Captain Elias Mercer stirred sugar into his tea with deliberate slowness, humming what aliens would later catalogue as a jaunty Earth tune, something about sunshine and lollipops. "Status?" he asked politely, not looking up. "All enemy ships are holding position, sir," reported his AI adjutant, voice calm and faintly amused. "They appear to be laughing." Elias smiled faintly. "Well, it would be rude not to give them something to laugh about, wouldn't it?" He took a sip, winced, and muttered, "Too sweet. Should have gone with 2 sugars." Then, with the same tone one might use to order room service, he said, "Target their flagship. 1 shot, please." The fleet never saw the beam. One instant the Vorix flagship Invincible was smugly transmitting a declaration of surrender terms. The next, it was an expanding sphere of incandescent plasma. "Ah," Elias said mildly. "Looks like they weren't invincible after all. Someone should update their branding." The Vorix fleet stopped laughing. "Human vessel, this is Admiral Croth." The comm channel crackled with fury. That was an act of war against the Dominion. Elias dabbed his mouth with a napkin, perfectly polite. "Yes, I suppose it was. But in fairness, you did point 300 warships at me first. Bad manners, Admiral. One might almost call it bullying." Crotha's mandibles clattered in rage. "You cannot hope to fight us all." Elias leaned back, clasping his hands. His smile was the kind reserved for dinner guests just before dessert. Pleasant, harmless, and entirely deceptive. "Fight you? Admiral, you misunderstand. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to demonstrate." "Demonstrate what?" "That humans don't do fair fights." What followed would later be dissected in strategy schools across the galaxy. The Gallant moved like no ship of its size had any right to move, weaving through the fleet's formations with insulting grace. Every time the Vorix tried to coordinate, a beam lanced out, surgical, efficient, devastating. No wasted shots. No messy overkill. The fleet responded with everything: mass drivers, plasma salvos, missile swarms. Each time, the Gallant slipped just out of reach, as if it knew the firing solutions before the orders were even given. At one point, Admiral Croth snarled, "How are they predicting us?" Elias answered over comms, tone cheery, "Chess, Admiral. Old Earth game. Predicting your moves is half the fun." "But this is war." "Exactly," Elias said. "Which is why we play to win." The Gallant wasn't just firing weapons, it was teaching. Every maneuver was deliberate, every shot an object lesson. When a destroyer tried to flank him, Elias crippled its engines without killing the crew. "See? Now you can't chase me. But you're alive. Consider that a favor." When a cruiser unleashed a volley, Elias fired once, detonating its ammunition stores in a brilliant cascade. Beautiful fireworks, but terribly unsafe. You really ought to child-proof those things. Polite menace dripped from every word. He wasn't just fighting, he was scolding them. And then he stopped. The Gallant powered down weapons, thrusters idling, sitting dead center in the battered fleet. Croth, breathing hard, demanded, "Why do you stop? Are you surrendering?" Elias sipped his tea again, unhurried. "Oh no, Admiral. I'm giving you a chance. One chance to leave. Take your fleet, limp home, and tell your council what happened here. No shame in survival. And if we refuse?" Elias set down his cup with a soft clink. "Then I stop being polite." The Voriks refused. It took 7 minutes. That was all. 7 minutes for one human ship to reduce a fleet of 300 into debris fields and terrified survivors fleeing at maximum burn. Elias never raised his voice. Never broke his smile. When the last Vorik's transmission cut off, the Gallant's AI chuckled. "You do enjoy making an impression." Elias straightened his uniform. "Reputation, my dear. Humans thrive on it. Today they'll call us reckless. Tomorrow, unpredictable. By next week." He looked at the drifting wreckage. Predators. The council met in emergency session 3 days later. "They cannot be allowed to spread," roared a Zilth delegate, slamming a tentacle on the table. "One ship destroyed a fleet." "A trick," hissed another. "A hidden superweapon. Surely they cannot all be like this." "Perhaps," murmured the wise Shura ambassador, "we should ask them." So they did. Elias Mercer arrived at the council hall alone, unarmed, smiling pleasantly as if invited to a garden party rather than a galactic tribunal. "Captain Mercer," the High Chancellor intoned, "explain yourself. One ship annihilated 300. This destabilizes the entire balance of power." Elias inclined his head politely. "Ah, balance. Such a comforting word. But let me ask, was it balanced when you brought 300 against one?" Murmurs filled the chamber. Elias let them build, then spoke softly. "Humans are not warriors by tradition. We are problem solvers. Give us a puzzle, and we'll solve it. Give us a threat, and we'll remove it. Give us a galaxy convinced it can bully us." He paused, smiling. "And we'll demonstrate otherwise." "Are you declaring war on the galaxy, Captain?" Elias chuckled. "Oh, heavens no. War is messy, expensive, terribly bad for business. Humans prefer alternatives." He leaned forward, voice dropping to a velvet threat. "But if you insist on forcing war, remember the fleet. Remember which side survived." And then came the twist. As the council debated, reports began flooding in, human ships appearing across multiple sectors. Not one, not 10, hundreds. All different designs, all previously dismissed as primitive. All moving with the same impossible precision as the Gallant. Councillors panicked. How is this possible? They had no fleet. Elias clasped his hands behind his back, smiling like a teacher revealing the punchline of a long joke. "Oh, that? Did you really think Earth would send only one ship?" He glanced toward the starfield outside the chamber windows. "We sent one to introduce ourselves. The rest were just waiting to see how you'd treat us." The stars shifted. No ships. Thousands of them, dark against the void, engines flickering to life. Elias Mercer, ever polite, gave a small bow. "Councillors, I suggest we start over. This time with manners." And so the galaxy learned the final lesson. It wasn't a fleet against one human ship. It was one human ship against a galaxy. And the galaxy never stood a chance.